It is Friday, May 23, 2025, and I am eating Burger King hash browns this time. I decided not to get any mustard. My usual, the best iced mocha there is from Burger King. And also, look at that. Egg and cheese biscuit, my favorite. It is indeed a pleasure to get back. You see, it's been a couple of days because I ended with a couple of videos last weekend. But I was still a little bit sick that I didn't tell anybody about. So I decided not to do any videos. My mind wasn't right. Had a little arthritic problem. So after I went home on my Tuesday, Wednesday, I finally took a pill and got rid of most of it. A lot of that stuff happened because of something I did back when I was in grade school, and it finally agitated itself. And so it disrupted my rhythm. But like I said, it's Burger King again. There is a difference. The biscuit is moist. The cheese is moist. The hash brown, okay. No mustard, no anything. Just straight up food. With a meal like this, who needs more? I was able to have some other type of foods, even a McDonald's, as part of my rehabilitation. I didn't get it myself. However, there is something that I want to talk about. The other day, actually a couple of days ago, I went to Red Lobster. So I've been to Red Lobster at least 6 times, I guess in about 6 months. And of course I did a video about, I think, service. The other ones were okay. That was another Red Lobster. So I've been to at least 4 or 5 different Red Lobsters, believe it or not. However, don't blame the CEO. I think the CEO of Red Lobster got a lot on his plate. Because it's not necessarily the CEO. They can set the tone, but what are the ones who are actually doing the work? What are they doing to keep it going? To keep Red Lobster going beyond good service and starting to have great service. Well, anyway, me and my wife went to Red Lobster. I'm not going to say which one it is. And what happened If that was a TikToker, they probably would have ran with it. But luckily it wasn't a TikToker who caught this little incident that kind of set the tone for me and my wife's dinner. And so we sit down. Now, you know, they got these napkins that rolled up nice. They rolled up nice. Your silverware is inside the napkin. Of course, we already ordered our food. I'm only going to show a couple of items that we had, which is the Boston mango tea, which you'll see at the end. The cheddar biscuits, that was okay. And the shrimp, some kind of shrimp deal that we ate. I can't remember what the name of it was. However, I did not show the main meal that we had, which I had a mahi. It was very good. It was kind of small, but it was very good, you know what I'm saying. Most of their menus around $40. I mean, so it's very expensive. I did spend over $100. That's included tip. So I still gave a slightly better tip, more than just a little bit, just more than 20%, just a little bit more, regardless of what had taken place. And I believe my wife had a shrimp kind of scampi thing. It's not scampi, I think, because it got the white noodle sauce on it. I forget what it is. Well, anyway. But I didn't put those dishes on there. Well, anyway, getting back to the subject at hand, we got the nice little napkins rolled up. Unrolled up my wife's napkin, and on the knife was a big black gum. Looked like it'd been through some stages. Stuck on the knife edge in front. Now, I didn't want to take a picture of it. But that kind of set the tone of your meal that day. Your meal could have been a very good meal, but just to think about seeing that, unrolling of the napkin, nice neat napkin, and to see a knife with a hard gum at the end of it. Of course, we got it replaced. Now, did they tell the management what happened? No. Did anyone walk up to me or to our table and tell us about it? No. But I don't think it really mattered, because sometimes they walk up to your table and just want to check on you, see if everything was fine. But anyway, I did some homework while I was sitting there at home. I was much better to go out and eat, and that's why we went out to eat. I didn't have this arthritic pain anymore. So it was easy for me to check out the ABCs of restaurant, LA County, of how they grade each establishment. I thought I'd better get some clarity on about what the ABCs are, and then we're going to go into the cleaning. The A is supposed to be free of violations. That means there shouldn't be anything wrong with the restaurant at all. The B, which this restaurant had a B. Now, I've walked away from restaurants that had B, but they're supposed to be outside the door or window so you can readily see it, but this was inside. I didn't see it, but my wife did. But I was shocked that we still went in and ate. So since we was inside, with inside, because sometimes a B grade does not mean anything. The B grade has some issues that must be fixed. That's what the B grade is. The C is there's a public risk, and it's on the verge of closure. Now, mind you, I've been to places where I've seen a bee and I'll turn around and I walked out because I know that it was outside the window. However, we overlooked it. I've been to some B's before, and the service was great. This service was okay too. But sometimes when you see a bee, you might turn around and walk away. Now, I had to go into more about the cleaning methods because I did see spots on the dishes. Now, I'm being more particular now, particularly after seeing that and say, how come these silverware has so many water spots? So I looked up, or I asked, Google, what do they do when you wash silverware in big restaurants? I said big, large, main restaurant. It probably doesn't matter what size of the restaurant it is. But this is what they do. They rinse silverware in warm water just to remove the food particles. Then they soak it in detergent for 15 to 30 minutes. Now, mind you, I've been seeing water spots on both the knife and the fork, and you try to wipe that off because it's nothing but water spots. Sometimes you wipe off silverware when you eat in restaurants. Most people do wipe their silverware off anyway because, those things not exactly perfect. However, number 3, you scrub the silverware. You hear what I just said? After you do all the first 2 steps and you let it sit in the soak in the water with the soap and everything, the special detergent you used, you're supposed to scrub it if you see other particles in there. You scrub it gently, it says here. Of course, this is Google, right? This is the general thing you do for the public in a restaurant if you plan on selling food and expect people to eat it. Your silverware gotta be clean. Not just the silverware, but the dishes. But I was particularly concerned with the silverware on this one. So anyway, you gently remove the other particles or dirt by hand. Then you rinse it again. Then you set it on a clean, dry cloth. Now, whether you do all that, I don't know. Polish. Now, I don't know about the polishing part. That seemed like a lot of hands. It seemed like you probably need more dishwashers back there than anything. And then after all that, before it even gets to it, before it even gets to the table, it's supposed to be inspected. The silverware is supposed to be inspected, no dirt on it or damage before using. So that means someone is supposed to see it and wrap it. Of course, they wrapped it in the cloth. But how come we see this big glob of gum, not pink but black, stuck on the end of it? We're talking about Red Lobster here. I'm using them as an example. It's just kind of situational, not personal. It can be. But like I say, you can't blame the CEOs for everything. They have a lot of work that they have to do to set the climate. But what are the other people? The first line people you see when you walk into a restaurant. What would you do when you see these grades, A, B, C, Los Angeles County? Of course, some of these I got New York does the same thing. So as I was looking this up, New York, LA, probably the same thing. I'm sure they do the same thing because millions of people have to eat in these restaurants. So I'm saying to myself, yeah, there's going to be a lot of work the Red Lobster is going to have to do because we don't know who's washing them dishes, how many people they have in those dishes, how they communicate washing those dishes, particularly the silverware, and how much cleaning do we as customers have to really wipe it to shine. This is Robert A. Shaw. I'm going to finish my Burger King. Red Lobster got a long way to go, and I think they're just an example of what all the other restaurants must do or must correct as part of their ongoing business relationship to the rest of the public. This is Robert A. Shaw. I'll see you in my next video. Let me finish my Burger King. I'll see you in the next one. I should be feeling a little better. I am. I'm still sore in certain spots. It's always in the back or on the side of the shoulder or something.